I'm Ned Pyle. Congratulations, you made it all the way to the end. Give yourself a big hand. Good job. Congratulations, you didn't go to Mark Rusinovich's stupid blockchain thing. That's right. That's right. This is recorded, Mark. I'm coming for that hair. All right. I'm just going to like some kind of terrible Silence of the Lambs situation. All right. Today we're going to talk about retiring your servers, your unstructured data, your file servers, with the storage migration service that we just are releasing now on Windows Server 2019. And I know a lot of people here are sort of like still a little wet from last night and maybe still a little bleary-eyed from last night. But I guarantee if you pay attention here, you're going to get a great new feature that will help almost every company, almost every organization eventually will probably want to use this at least once. I almost can guarantee it. So, I have some cool demos, I have some wackiness, you'll learn some things, and we'll get through this together. Okay, why don't people upgrade? It breaks stuff. What's the holdup? In-place upgrades, we offer that. We've made a big change for 2019 to make that cleaner and stuff, but it's kind of, you've had 20 years of not wanting to do that. Right? And sometimes for good reason, right? App compat. And the general complexity of getting data off of one server with all of its access points and security and everything onto some new spot. And that is the part where the storage migration service is going to try and tackle. Even though you have applications, this will migrate your data so they can be using those applications, don't have to change. And even though you might want to not do in-place upgrades, this is the solution for when you don't want to do that. If you want to be able to do clean moves of data and settings and leave that old OS behind. There is a lot of 2008 out there still, and there's a lot of 2003 out there still. Shocking amount of 2003. 2008, as you know, support ends. Anybody want to shout it out? January 2020. So it's about 14 months, 15 months. I mean, it's near. It's very, very near. And the goal of this is to help you get as much of that off of 2008 and onto later OSs as you can before the clock runs out. Okay. So, if I'm doing migrations by hand, what do I tend to miss? I tend to actually miss a ton of data. We don't really give great tools for migrating stuff. I wouldn't have made this feature if I thought our story was great. Our story does suck. So, ownership of files, permissions of files, encrypted files, attributes of files, in-use files, the shares that you actually need to migrate, all their weird properties and flags and settings, network settings, special names of computers, alternate computer names, buried little nuggets of NetBIOS, Active Directory membership. When you manually migrate, that's where you immediately get into this cesspool of all of this. And before I started working on, designing this feature, I'm working with my dev team, I spent some time researching, obviously, to see what our story was in order to justify making this. And the first thing I did was look at a year's worth of Microsoft support data from when people called us just to say, I'm trying to migrate servers. Just for data, just file servers. And we averaged about one support case per calendar day that year of people who just gave up. They tried and it didn't work, and they called and said, can you help me? Which, how many people didn't bother to call? They just gave up, and stayed on the old server. And that's what this is designed to take care of. What else is hard about doing these migrations and upgrades? Our inbox tools suck. Like Explorer, Robocopy, if you want to figure out every last flag and parameter in the universe, works decently, but everybody else just like, robocopy, source, dest, go, and then like half the data is gone now, missing. Xcopy, give me a break. All right. The orchestration of all this, I've got a bunch of servers. I've got some servers maybe that are related to each other that need to come along at the same time. Some servers that talk to each other by certain names. You got to do all that dance yourself right now. That's not cool. And then sort of not knowing what you don't know, right? Like what do I do about all these things that Ned just brought up that I maybe just heard of for the first time? Like if you got some real junior person on your team who doesn't really understand all the subtleties of 10, 15, 20 years worth of data and 10, 20, 15 years worth of applications talking to those servers, and they're just willy-nilly, I copied the data, we're good, right? And then everybody just starts calling the next day. And then the scale. I mean, tens upon tens of millions of Windows servers, plus Samba, Red Hat, all the various Linux distros that will give you some kind of a file server, plus your NAS, plus your SAN. All those things are up for grabs here, all of it. That's a lot. It's a lot to just sort of you watch this presentation at the beginning, you start already getting depressed. Like, I just realized I have to go back to work on Monday. This is all waiting for me. What a great gig I've got. Okay, so we're going to talk today about, you all know how I like dogs if you follow me on Twitter, the storage migration service, a brand new feature of 2019. And it's designed to take on your big challenges. So here's my little dog, Indy, taking on her big brother, and he's not having it. That's the face of somebody who just got a brand new little sister. Some of us have made that face. Okay, what is the vision of the storage migration service? Migrate your unstructured data from anywhere into your physical environment, from your physical environment, anywhere that was virtual into virtual, anywhere that was on-prem into IaaS. We take care of it all. We don't care about how you run your servers. We just care that there's a server. It's super fast. It's very consistent. It has great fidelity, the way that it copies and moves your data. And it's very, very scalable. I'll talk about some scale numbers right at the end. It takes care of all that complexity I was just talking about and so much more. We'll show some examples of that here soon in some demos. And it has a nice Windows Admin Center workflow. So when you're using this tool, you're staring at a nice graphical GUI as it transfers your data. It tells you about what phases you're in. It tells you about what things are going on. You're not going to be running a bunch of PowerShell. Oh, the guy who bills for his PowerShell time is upset. Sorry, it took 10 times as long. Please pay me. I'm joking, but I'm really not joking. I have microphones out here, so I don't put questions at the end. I like to scatter a little, like 1 or 2 minute Q&A period throughout as we get through sort of each phase of this presentation. So please, when you get to seeing a dog, just go out to a microphone, or if you're close enough and you can shout it out at me, and I'll repeat the question. And we'll do this 3 times. You'll get a chance to get through it. Typically, what I want you to do is just ask questions about what we just went through. If you ask a question about something I haven't talked about, I'll probably be getting to it shortly. Okay? Okay. Now, what is this thing going to migrate? To begin with, it's going to migrate Server 2003. Yes, 2003. With its SMB1. 2008 R2, 2012 R2, 2016, even 2019, if you wish, as a source. It will migrate SMB data for now, and we'll talk about the future here soon, through the storage migration service, getting your data and config, And it'll put it into, hopefully, a brand new, nice Windows server running, say, the Azure File Sync service. Has anybody heard of Azure File Sync? They've had some sessions. Oh, lots of hands. Good. This thing GA'd about maybe 6 months ago, and it's a little agent you put on your Windows servers, and it will add a little filter driver, and it will sit there and learn and watch as users access data and apps access data. And as they get less interested in some data, it will flow up into Azure and become, cold, but still available. So if somebody comes back to get it, it'll pull it back down. Just like Store Simple used to, only this time somebody will buy it. Oh no, Ned is off the chain again. Yeah, it's Friday. This is going to be so unprofessional, you can't believe it. It also puts it into Azure Files, and then it also sync it down to other servers, so you could use this thing as a way to sort of, let me get off of my old nasty, get onto a relatively new server like 2016 or 2019, let Azure File Sync take the data that doesn't really matter that much and put it up into cold storage in Azure. Let the hot data stay on-prem so it's always fast and easy to access. I mean, the downside of putting something into Azure is just latency, right? I mean, getting something back on-prem in that hybrid scenario can be slow. This stops that problem. It just stops it. The data that people care about doesn't leave. It can still get backed up, it can still get synced, it can still have versions go up, and it still be protected from ransomware, but the actual copy that they want to work on, just like with OneDrive or something like that, is still available in the branch or in the data center for people to get to. And we push data to that and then let them go. You also can be like, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, but on a nice new modern server. I need more security, I need other features like storage replica or other stuff, who cares? I'll just put it onto a newer box. It can be physical, virtual, Azure Stack, IaaS instance, I don't care. We don't actually know. We don't know. We just know that it's a Windows server. We're happy with that. And then between them, they can be putting data up into Azure. You could even be putting data directly into IaaS instances in Azure if you wish. Just be like, this is my chance, right? I'm getting off 2008. I might as well get off of on-prem. This is your chance. Okay. How do I get this thing? Azure File Sync is a free download, plus an Azure subscription. We are just part of Windows Server. We come in Windows Server 2019. Doesn't matter what edition or version of 2019, Standard Edition, Data Center Edition, Eval version, I don't care. My goal is to get you wanting to migrate. My goal is not to make money off of the storage migration service. My goal is to make money off of the new licenses. So I'll make it as easy as possible and likely as possible for you to get storage migration service. And then how do I manage this thing? Well, you already saw a quick example of that. Windows Admin Center. Has everybody been seeing Windows Admin Center all week? Has anybody actually seen any PowerShell this week? I mean, like a little bit. Like suddenly, this became the Admin Center year of the Admin Center. What's your question? Yes, under the covers. I'll get to that. Windows Admin Center is graphical. It's pretty intuitive to use. It's a web browser. If you run it in the local mode, it can just run on your laptop. It's free. It's like a little quickie 50 megabyte download. If you put it in its orchestrator mode, it becomes effectively like a web server that does stuff on your behalf. Like it just becomes this sock puppet for you. And you can run it off of Safari or your phone or whatever. Like it's super ultra portable. And it is really the future for us. The same way that MMC snap-ins were the future in like 1993 or whatever. Admin Center is the future for us now for the next 10, 20 years, because if I build a new feature, if I start building a spec and writing requirements for a new feature in Windows Server, one of the things is, where are your wireframes for Windows Admin Center? Where are they? Because you can't make your feature without it. That's how important it is to us now. And you've seen, the little views of it. We'll talk and see some nice big long demos about Admin Center, but it's designed to be this crisp, easy to use. We actually got like UX designers set aside for it, and industrial psychologists and all that kind of stuff, designing it, making it so that you pick it up really, really fast. Actually, the MMCs are actually sort of not intuitive. You're just used to them by now. It's like a lot of Windows, right? You started off with Active Directory, and you're like, man, this thing is messed up. It's so complicated. And now you're like, I've been using it for 20 years. It's no big deal. It doesn't mean it's somehow suddenly great. It just means you're used to it. Under the covers of Admin Center is always PowerShell. Always. So if you like PowerShell, and you're not making fun of it like I am, and I do actually love PowerShell, it's still there and available for you to do automation, scripting, bypass all this, write your own front end. We don't care. That's the whole point. We built these layers because Jeffrey Snover wanted us to have PowerShell and then wanted us to have layers on top of PowerShell to make it easy to use. You all know who Jeffrey Snover is, right? Yeah. You ever run into Jeffrey Snover? I ran into an elevator a year or two ago, and I wonder, that's Jeffrey Snover, I wonder if he should be trusted because he wears gloves on his feet. If you were about to go into surgery and the doctor had gloves on his feet, you'd be like, wait a second, and then they'd knock you out because you're going to scramble out of the room. Gloves on his feet. All right. So, what does this thing do? We build jobs. We take jobs, we run them through phases. The storage migration service is very much like a blam, blam, blam process. It's always give me a job, do an inventory, do a transfer, do a cutover. Blam, 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 all the time. You organize these groups of servers into jobs. You work these groups of jobs in phases. You can have lots and lots of jobs, many jobs. You can parallelize the whole thing so that instead of just having one server and one job migrating at a time, you can do a whole bunch. I'll talk about scale again at the end. So you do inventory, you do transfer, you do cutover. Inventory is discovering, tell me some servers, let's go look at those servers. Tell me about them. Network settings, storage stuff. Look at those servers. Okay, we've got them picked out. Let's pair them up with some new targets and do a transfer. Copy data, security. We'll talk about more details here in a second. And then cutover, take over the life of that old server and put it aside. We don't ever move anything in storage migration service. We copy stuff and we sort of steal identity, but we don't move anything because what we don't want is for you to get to a point where you can't go back. One of my biggest sort of fears that customers would bring up when we start talking about data migration is, I'm not worried about the migration. I'm worried about what happens if it doesn't work and I'm somehow half migrated. Or I got done being migrated and I'm like, oh no, we forgot important X. The whole point of storage migration service is never having to say you're sorry. X never goes away, ever. We will never move or destroy any data on the source, ever. There is no code to do so, none. So, let's talk about inventory and get to our first demo here pretty soon. Inventory is passive. There's no agent to install. It just reaches out to source machines and starts looking at them. In the future, you'll see my list of the roadmap. We're going to start having agents needed for cool new features, but for now, it's totally passive. It runs from a 2019 server, so you need at least one 2019 server. You don't have to make your destinations 2019. It does help, but you don't have to do it. You just need at least one standard or data center, I don't care, 2019 server to reach out and talk to nodes. So I create a job. That thing creates the job. It includes volumes. It adds in servers. I scan the configuration of those machines. I scan their network, their volumes, their OS info. I scan their SMB information, their file account, their file sizes, their share properties. And I'm ready to transfer. This usually only takes a minute or two. Really, the slowest part is just counting and digging through all your files and summarizing how big they all are. the slowest part of this is your own source machine storage. So worst case, it might take, I don't know, half an hour maybe. Usually it only takes a few seconds. And it looks like this. We have this orchestrator machine. It has this orchestrator service on it. We just install the storage migration service. It has a little database that goes with it. It has a proxy service. These are two separate things. The proxy sort of does all the work. The orchestrator tells the proxy what to do. And the orchestrator keeps track of everything in the database so you can get reporting and look back and sort of see like what's going on. We have some source machines, and this will reach out through these protocols that you need to open in the firewall or firewalls between your orchestrator and the source machines. It uses SMB to look at stuff. It uses the net logon service to look at stuff. It uses maybe DCOM. Usually you're going to get a lot of DCOM when we talk to 2003 and 2008. And it definitely uses WMI. And you get older in the OS stack, the WMI is less and less likely to be available. So we have DCOM there to talk to the real rat bags that hang in the, in the back of your closet that you're just like, oh, I just forgot about that server. Yeah. We'll talk to that server that you forgot about. So let me see a demo. So this is the admin center. You've probably seen it all by now. You might not have seen sort of like some of the setup phases, though. People tend to show like the cooking show version of admin center, after it's already been all wanged together. This is the dashboard that admin center shows, but I have not yet deployed the storage migration service. So if I go to storage migration service, I'm pointed to my future orchestrator node right now. It even says I have an extension available, an update. It would automatically update the storage migration service extension if it's detected. But if I don't have SMS installed, we'll go and install it for you, which is nice. One less thing to do. So we detect if SMS is installed in the orchestrator. If not, we go put it on there. We give you a quick view of like, welcome to storage migration. These are the phases that Ned was talking about in the presentation you didn't watch or the documentation you didn't read. And then we're into it. I create a job. That job here is called demo, and I'm going to add a few servers to it. And this is all, I don't accelerate the time on this anywhere except at one spot. So this is all like exactly how long it will actually take. This is no smoke and mirrors, no magic. I give it some credentials. I decide if I want to get all data, admin shares, all volumes, or if I want to get specific shares. By saying all shares, I can get all admin shares, I can get everything, even if it's not a file server, right? So then I add in a device, and I add another device. So notice I can do more than one server at a time here. I have FSO1, FSO2. Right now they show unknown. Let's go look at those actual servers. This one's clearly 2012. If I look at ipconfig on it, I can see all this networking information. Remember that 140 address. If I look at the data volumes, I'm not copying too much data. I think I'm going to do about 3 or 4 gigabytes just here for demonstration purposes. But it does have real shares, you'll see, if I net share here. Lots of real shares. I have a look at this other 2008 box. There's some proof that we're going to do something and see our data show up, so I made a beautiful drawing. Okay, so now I have my 2 servers. I'm going to click Scan, and you can see the little spinny whirly gig there over in the end time column. It's a little hard to see on this big view. And it's going through and doing the inventory. It's looking at all the configuration, the networking, et cetera, and the data, and coming back. That was pretty fast. These are not great machines, by the way. They're a couple of CRUDbag VMs I had running on a CRUDbag lab server. So here are all my shares. Remember the ones I was just showing you? Those are all the shares with all their sizes, their paths, how many files are in them. Every property of that share that you may or may not know somebody has tinkered with. All those little weird little flags and attributes that some aren't even exposed in the GUI that somebody might have messed with. Look at the other server, look at the configuration. I can see a little bit about it, the OS version, who made the thing. I can see its network settings. I can see all of its storage. I can see all the things that would matter to me about migration. So that inventory that I just finished took a couple of minutes. I now know everything I need to know about that server. questions so far on what we've covered so far? Yes. You're going to have to go to the mic, pal. I can't hear a word you're saying. There's one right behind you. Does it support failover clusters? Not today, very soon. Like, I will probably release a cumulative update right away because I work on the cluster team, so it's a little embarrassing that I didn't support clusters out of the box. Yes, in the green.
Can it inventory a NetApp ZIF share?
Can I inventory NetApp or EMC or any of the other ones or Samba and stuff? Not yet, but that is our immediate roadmap. I'll talk about that here more in a minute. One last question. Yes, sir.
How does it handle local groups?
Do we handle local groups? Everybody's asking stuff that I clearly didn't put on there because I had a bad answer. We actually have local groups working. We punted that at the last minute, but I'm going to release it as a cumulative update, like a 0-day update, because I need to get local group coverage. We're actually going to support not just groups, but also local users. So what we will do is when you get to transfer, we will torque convert your SIDs of old local groups and users and put them into the ACL of files and directories on the destination server and recreate them with the same names. Obviously, they get new SIDs, but no one will be the wiser. So we are going to support that, yes. Yes, yes. We're so excited about local groups that we shouldn't have. And yes, the question usually followed that is, do you support work groups, not just Active Directory? Yes, I do support work groups, not just Active Directory, you terrible person. It's fine. It's probably a dentist's office or something. One last question. Yes, sir. Do they need to be in the same domain? Right now, we actually require they be in the same domain because we're trying to prevent people from creating a new server that they think is accessible by old names that isn't. Right? If I change domains, my FQDN could change, and I need to plug it in to respond and answer to old information, which we don't do yet. So right now, we require going to the same domain. There's no technical reason why we could not do it, and it'll be very easy and quick that we will soon support doing it inside the same forest, probably as a limit. Okay, I'm going to keep going back. Don't worry, you get 2 more sets of questions. 45 minutes. Okay, transfer. It copies data between nodes. It copies, not moves, copies data between nodes. It is multi-threaded. It is multi-server. It is not Windows Explorer. We are not calling RoboCopy under the covers. We have our own copy engine. It's a fairly modified version of the real copy file engine that ships in Windows, which is designed really for laptops. Ours is designed more for higher throughput. We do, by default, 10 copy threads per node. You can actually alter that with a registry setting. And it is serialized inside of a job to do a set of data or a set of servers, but you can have up to 100 jobs, and you can put as many servers into each of those 100 as you want to build this giant parallelized matrix of migration going on at once. So you can have many servers in a job, and then when we transfer, we get all of that security, all the pieces that are actually really quite hard to get, like ownership and ACLs, and those things that are, generally speaking, get lost in most migrations, and then that's where you end up with that server that has everyone full control. That's because somebody did a migration, forgot to get the security, and wanted everybody to stop shouting at them, right? And then you're left with that piece of junk forever. It will retry. It will deal with multiple passes. If you run it multiple times, it will get a delta copy, so it will never just keep trying to transfer the whole thing over and over and over again. You can tell it to, and it will do it, but I mean, I don't know why you would. It deals with in-use files, all of that stuff. So my transfer does, I map some destinations, and I already have a list of sources. I can map some destinations. I can decide that I don't want to do some of those servers that I inventoried. I'm not required to go on to transfer for everything. You can throw away the job. You can start over. You can run the inventory 1,000 times. I don't care. And then you can decide, I just don't like that server. I just like these 3 servers. I inventoried a bunch. I ended up liking these 3. That's fine. You map them. You map their volumes. You tell it which shares you want to get. By default, we get everything, but you can say like, nah, not that share. That's the garbage share. Not that one. We're leaving that behind. You get retry flags you can set, preservation, checksumming. Those are all options to turn on. You can turn on checksum and get CRC64 checksums of every single last file you copy, if you wish, for the real, anal retentive types. It'll slow it down like crazy, but you will be able to get a checksum you can look back at and compare with some checksum tool and be like, yep, it all happened. We will then let you validate that the transfer is going to work, do the transfer, let you rerun the transfer as many times as you want, and every time you rerun it, it'll do a delta copy and give you a report of what happened. The first time you run it, if there's data in the way, that thing that says preservation, if there's data in the way, you've never run a job before, and somehow you picked a server that has data on it already, which is a little weird, we will move it into a safe, preserved spot on that volume. That way, if you accidentally pick the wrong server, we will not destroy your data. Remember what I say, we will not destroy your data. Everybody knows that I still own DFSR, right? Everybody knows my old blog post about DFSR. Number one, crit sit for DFSR. Okay, I set up my DFSR partnership, and I picked the server that was empty as the source. And it made a perfect mirror copy of empty. Now, that was the very first crit sit I ever had on DFSR. Years and years and years and years ago, which is why I wrote the very first recovery tool for DFSR that evening. That experience and that lack of sleep in mind, I made sure that this one is guaranteed to save and protect your data if you make that sort of like, oh my God, brain fart mistake. So I'm ready for cutover. What does that look like? I have my orchestrator. I have a 2019 target this time, okay? So I have my sources, I have my destinations, and notice now the proxy service is also on the destinations. It's a separate feature you install. You put the proxy on there, it's just another service, and the proxy will become this sock puppet of the orchestrator. And the nice thing about that is, as it gets sock puppeted, that's a word, then the transfers are line of sight. So look how much faster it'll be because I'm transferring from one source to another. I'm not going through the bottom at all. And I can do that if I wish, but I don't need to. If I just install 2019 and I put the proxy on it, which is just a step in the document, and if I do that, we'll even open those firewall rules and take care of everything for you on the fly as you run, saving you a whole bunch of steps to do. Pretty great. And if you don't have the proxy, when we do that validate, we'll be like, hey, you didn't put the proxy on. Are you sure? Because it's going to be super slow. It's going to be slower, way slower. You sure? And then you can choose to do it or not and be slow. If I do 2016 or 2012 R2, and those are the limits of our targets, no, you cannot migrate to your 2003 server, Hammerhead. Then the experience looks very similar, except my proxy service is gone, right? Because they don't have storage migration, and it'll just pass through the orchestrator, which with a couple of servers is okay. You start adding lots and lots and lots of servers being migrated, it can become a real throughput bottleneck. So I don't advise that if you're doing anything to scale. And you're, of course, going to have to open up these firewall ports yourself. There's no proxy sock puppet. So, what does that look like? I have my demo. We just finished doing the inventory. I'm going to put in some new credentials for the destination. These get stored securely in the orchestrator, AES-256, in the credential store, if anybody wants to know. We went through full security review. So, I have my new destination. I'm going to map it up against FSO1. I'm going to check that destination, find its volumes, find out if it has enough free space, give you a chance to pick between which shares to include. Obviously, we're going to include all by default. I want you to have to opt in to failure whenever it comes to storage migration service. If I had extra volumes here, like FGH, mount point, 1, 2, 3, I could pick from them. If I somehow wanted to move it, I don't really advise you move it. That's why we map them directly. And then I added my other device. I can choose to include or not include. See that little toggle up there? Just saying I don't really feel like migrating the server now or maybe ever. So I click Next, and I'm brought to the page where I can set my transfer settings. Remember what I was pointing out before? Checksums, retries, delay times, max durations just to give up. All that stuff is built in here. Then I can validate the transfer is probably going to work. This is my favorite feature in the universe. I press the Validate button. We check all the requirements that are in the document that you didn't read. No one reads my documents. And we list pass or fail, and then why you didn't pass, with an information to tell you how to go fix your failing grade. It is awesome. It helps me out, and I made this stupid thing. Then I start my transfer. I'm migrating data right now. I go back to my dashboard because I like looking at, flowing charts and stuff. You can see actually, I have so little data, and I'm moving along sort of, I was trying to catch up and turn my recording on to get back over to the screen that I've already got one that's been transferred. And as this thing starts to figure out and measure and average out the throughput, it'll fill in this graph and start moving the graph along every 5 or 10 seconds or whatever on the web page, whatever Windows Admin Center wants to do, and show throughput. Now, mine's going to be done here in like a minute or 15 seconds or however long it takes to copy a little bit of data, but yours is probably going to run for hours, maybe days if we're talking about many, many terabytes of data. So this is a nice way to come back, keep an eye on things, see what's running, see the jobs that are going, and be able to navigate back into them for details. Nice little dashboard. I like dashboards. So now I have my transfer. It's completed. I have details here. I can look and see what happened. I have a transfer log. It's so interesting. What is my transfer log? I save this thing. It is just a CSV file. Nothing proprietary. I open it up in Excel. Every single solitary file and folder that I transferred with every single piece of security, every attribute, who the owner was, what the attributes were set to, its path. I have a total record of it, even if somebody totally deletes SMS and its database and throws the server into the drink. That way, when somebody says, you didn't transfer my files, you can say, the hell I didn't. There it is right there. You deleted it later, Skippy. All right. Questions on transfer? What attributes go? This is all about file metadata. We get all file metadata. We don't get attributes like security attributes of a user account or anything like that. The users are still out there. Yes, sir.
Will the allegedly my servers that my source servers are running FSRM? Will this be able to capture some of that data and transfer it for me too?
Can I get some of the old, not old, but some of the existing pieces of Windows that are about file servers, the add-ons we did like FSRM, DFSR, DFSN, all of those things. Some we get, some we don't. DFSN link targets, we are migrating the server in such a way that they will just start working again. But FSRM quotas and screens are those things we don't get yet, but they are literally on this coming milestones roadmap because people keep asking, and it's not that hard for us to do it. Yes? So if people are accessing data, the transfer's going on, the source machine's still being accessed, and I've maybe gotten past some version of the file, and then Skippy is over there still torquing on his file, even though he got told that we're doing a big data migration this weekend. Yes, you can rerun the transfer. It will only get the changes that Skippy made, and you're happy, Skippy's happy, and the transfer can complete. And you can do that as many times as you want for as long as you would like. Yes? The Delta engine is right now based on looking at all of the attributes we can tell about size, length, change, any type of modified, security change. Any one of those will trigger it as like somebody messed with this file, we're going to copy it. Yes, sir. Will we do consolidation? You're going to ask me questions about stuff I can't do. Yes. No, we don't do consolidation yet, but I'm going to talk about what our plan is on this. It has both a business answer and a technical answer. Yes, sir. Can I schedule the Delta copy? That's a great question. We don't have a scheduler built into Windows Admin Center because Windows Admin Center is designed to be this sort of like, I'm looking at it and watching it. And we don't have a scheduler in the orchestrator. It's just designed to run as fast as you want. But we do have PowerShell. And if you want to just take the PowerShell that says, start SMS transfer and make that a scheduled task and just say like, hey, go run this again like tomorrow at 5 a.m. because I'm going to be asleep, it will do so. Just behind him. Yes, you. Is there throttling? No. And that's actually a feature that was that I had in the initial requirements. We are going to add throttling. Right now, we're trying to be as fast as possible, and then soon we'll be as slow as you want possible. Yes. Say that again? Storage volumes mounted as folders. Like Symlinks or something? Or mount points? Yeah, mount points are supported, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, if you delete files, we will make a mirror copy of your deletes as well. I don't think we've put that stuff into our extension piece yet. I know we were working on that. The question is, Admin Center has this ability to show you the PowerShell that it's running, which is a fantastic feature, but you have to go do a bunch of plumbing yourself to do it, and we haven't done that. But here's a key thing about the Admin Center that I don't have in my slides, that I should have in my slides, is Admin Center's out of band, right? It doesn't come in Windows. And the extensions that we make are out of band. And anything we want to do in the admin experience doesn't wait for anything Windows ship cycle-wise. So if Windows ships every 6 months, I can ship extensions literally, like I could go to my email right now and tell Brian, hey, Brian, I need this extension bug released tomorrow, please, and he will do so. We can be incredibly nimble with Admin Center and the extensions. So there's a bi-weekly flighting of the extensions and Admin Center, and then they release the new Admin Center. Right now it's every 6 months, but they're taking it down, I think, to every couple of months, so that no matter how much we're behind on the big feature work like a cluster or something like that, but if I find a bug or if I need to start adding a little piece of feature like show me the PowerShell, I can do that separately from Windows, which is really great because the admin story is always the one you kind of get way behind on when you're building an OS and building features. The admin is always kind of the second-class citizen, and now it's totally first class. In fact, it's way higher class than the OS itself. One more question. I can't see. Oh, yes, sir.
So we early adopted Azure File.
Yes.
If I have an Azure File server today.
Azure File Sync?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Can I migrate that, or is there a different process?
Can I migrate Azure File Sync as a source to a new...
Shares and I keep the other.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that right now. We won't migrate the Azure File Sync settings and stuff, but you would simply reapply those to it. And I'll give you a little, there's a little secret at the end about Azure File Sync I'll talk about. Let me get back onto the... Oh, there's one more...
One
Yeah.
short question.
Yeah.
Do we preserve the previous version of the source file server?
Previous versions?
Previous versions? I have a lot of customers that use this.
We store that in system volume information, right? No.
Shit.
I want you to send me an email about your requirements because there's no reason why we couldn't do it. That's just something that we right now have been skipping is all of that side tangential backup stuff. That piece could actually just be lifted up and placed on the other server. There's no reason why we couldn't do it. We just need to remap it. Because in the end, it's just some data stored in a folder that we intentionally skip right now. We could stop intentionally skipping it. Okay. One last. Yes, sir. Yeah, we deal with, if files have been deduped, we understand how the dedupe reparse points work. We know how to dehydrate a file, send it along. and then if you just have dedupe turned on your destination, it will just dehydrate again. DFS namespace, we will send along. You don't have to worry about DFS namespace because the server name and shares don't change. You don't need to do anything. It will just work. Okay, cut over. There you go, 30 minutes. All right. When we do cutover, again, your old source machine does not go away. It's still there. We will give you some opportunity to make it unreachable by any of your users and apps and just reachable by you, the all-knowing. Whoop. I don't even know what the heck I was saying there. You guys were all out having a good time at Harry Potter last night. I was in my room being professional. Professionally leaving one line there that I don't remember what I was trying to say. What we actually do is take over the name and take over the Active Directory of that machine. After the transfer is done, what I think I was trying to say there is effectively that old server is sort of read-only, right? You're making it so that you know where it is, and you know how to get to it, and you know how to get data off of it, but no user could get to it anymore. They don't know the old server's IP anymore. They don't know its name anymore. So the data's still there. It's just effectively read-only. We take over that network, and we basically have our mantra. It's like nothing ever happened. To an end user or an application, there should be some brownout period while we actually take over and reboot some nodes, but that's it. The entire cutover process takes as long as it takes for your servers to reboot, in theory. It might take a little bit longer if your DNS needs to catch up, or if your DHCP isn't working, if you chose DHCP, or if you've got AD replication problems out the wazoo, and this old computer name isn't showing up anywhere because some AD nonsense is broken. But in theory, all things being equal, it's just the amount of time taken to reboot each of those servers twice. That's it. That's it. So the brownout can be very, very, very quick. Come on there. So we're going to map your networks, give your old server a new set of IPs and a new name. We're going to say, how long can this thing go before something has gone wrong? The max duration of the cutover. We're going to validate that it's going to work, because Ned loves validating stuff. We're going to do the cutover, and then we're done with this job. We all high five. So here's my orchestrator with its proxy, my database, my source, my destination. I'm going to go ahead and take over the name, the IP, all those pieces. It's all being driven by the orchestrator again. I'm going to take over and start restarting those nodes. And when it's all done, those new nodes, as far as anybody can tell, are the old nodes. Nothing looks different anymore. The data's all there, the shares are all there, the permissions are all there, the IP addresses are all there, the alternate computer names are there, any C names are still working, your NetBIOS and your piece of crap wins is still working. Yeah, you still got wins. Try and act like you don't. Everything's still working. I can even do this with one server. This whole thing we were doing, I can do it with just one target. You put the orchestrator on there, the proxy on there, the database on there, consolidate it all together. All that stuff I had in the middle, if you got some small customers that just have a file server and you want to replace it with just a file server, we can do that. Okay, last part of the demo. Here's my cutover. I'm on phase 3. You can see that inventory and transfer are done. I'm going to put in, I didn't need to put any creds. I already did them for transfer. They're stored away. I can change them if something's changed in the meantime. But now, I'm just going to map network interfaces. If I just have one, it's pretty easy. If I've got 10, it's not so easy. So we'll let you map them side by side so they can get the old IP information and put them onto the new network interfaces. We've tested up to 16 NICs. If you have 16 NICs, you're a jerk. But we did test up to that. I will accept 4 NICs as before you become a jerk. 4 is the cutoff. I can adjust how long I'm going to wait, the max cutover time, or this thing will sit there and wait, trying to let nodes come back up. I press validate. I check again to make sure that these destination machines are going to do a good cutover. So they passed. Once the other one's done, I'll pass, I'll click on it. Yes, we can do a cutover. Yes, the creds work. Yes, all this, stuff that needs to happen for cutovers is in place. Like literally, the document that you read on TechNet is already taken care of by the validator. I have the opportunity right now to talk about and learn about and go set up Azure File Sync. Just a little quick banner reminder that you can dismiss. And this is the only time compressed part of this entire demo because nobody wants to watch two servers reboot for 5 minutes. So you can see what it's doing, how it's mapping interfaces, how it's restarting the computers. It's doing all this. You can see that my old computer name now has been renamed to some random goo. You saw that I chose DHCP in my case. I could have also just stuffed in static IP addresses. If I look at my new server, all my shares are there. They were all there since transfer. All with the same names, all with the same properties, all with the same security. Now my IP configuration is the same. It's all there. All of it. If I look at the other node, we take a look and see if all the data showed up. Yeah, it all showed up. You can see how critical my data is. And if I go back and look on my server, back at that job, did this stop working? You can see that my job's complete. I've copied all that data. Everything's successful. The job's run is over, and the cutover phase is complete, and everything has succeeded. So once I'm all done, I have this old server. It's sitting around. Think about how simple that demo really was. I maybe clicked 12 times. I typed in a couple server names. I typed in some creds. And then I just stood around waiting. I got status the whole way. I got reporting the whole way. I got an audit trail in the middle. I didn't have to think about all those various millions of little nuggets of things I talked about at the beginning of the session. I didn't have to think about it. It took care of it all for me. Okay. Now, that's all the good news. And there's more good news. We'll talk a little bit about some of the limiters and some things we're not going to let you migrate because I like finishing on a bad note. No, I'm kidding. I have good news at the end. One, we artificially block transferring certain things. You cannot do them. Some customers will end up getting in trouble with this. We're trying to stop you from really hurting yourself. Everybody knows what system drive is, right? That's the C drive, typically. We will not migrate your Windows or Windows Old or any of the weirdo Windows squibbly-bibbly files. We will not migrate program files or program files x86 or program data or users or system volume information, the thing that he really wants migrated that we'll get back to. We will not migrate your recycle bin. We will not migrate your boot files or your page file or hybrid file or any of this stuff. And you can probably figure out now, looking at this list, why we're not migrating it, right? Great, you migrated my Windows files from 2003 onto a 2019 server. That's a fantastic experience when it booted up. No. The downside is if you actually did have somebody put like a shared folder inside one of those spots, you're going to have to do a little pre-work before you get going here, moving them out. We will detect seeing that we want to migrate things that are buried away in an unmigratable space, and back on that transfer and inventory, we'll start throwing up warnings saying this isn't going to happen. My demo shows all being peaceful and light, right? But I don't like showing demos with lots of errors in it. But there will be nice, understandable errors saying that this is not eligible yet. Now, some of the limits we talked about already. I don't yet support cluster. We just ran out of time, is all it is. Supporting cluster is actually really, really easy for us to do, and I expect we will release a cumulative update simply to support it. You're not waiting 2 years to get this, because I like money. We will support local groups, same exact reason. I like money. That's it. Anything else we don't support is people bringing up things like previous versions. That FAQ that I have, so if you go to look at our website on this, there's an FAQ section, and it'll start filling in with those types of questions of not only what we don't support, but also when we will support it, because I'm a big believer in saying not someday, but soon, or in this release, or in this cumulative update. If you look back at my storage replica feature, you'll find that I'm real big on breaking the Microsoft rule of promising stuff that's coming. Like, we never promise anything, right? I'm like, yeah, nuts to that. I'm promising some stuff. We have scale validated this thing to 50,000 shares on one node. Does anybody have 50,000 shares on one node? What about 49,000? Like, what are you doing, dude? I've seen those. They're home directories typically. I've seen that. That's the biggest number I ever saw was 40,000, so I was like, I don't know, 50,000. We have tested up to 100 simultaneous transfer jobs going at once. 100 servers. We've tested 16 networks per machine, which is weird, but we tested it. We've tested RDMA, we've tested TCP, we've tested all of those things. And we don't have a limit on the size. I was expecting somebody to say, how much data can I transfer? Nobody asked that. I thought, obvious question, but it's only because you probably expect to be able to transfer however much you want. And the answer is yes, transfer however much you want. We don't care. The file size limit, we don't care. The count is the only spot where you can get into trouble because we're storing all this in a database, and a file is a row, and eventually our database may take up more space than you have drive. But there's no limit to that other than we give you a little registry value, and we say move your database to this bigger drive and restart the service, having repointed it, and you're back in business. Because I know that one's coming. We don't have a sizing tool, but I have a little bit of sizing math that I'll share on the website. It'll effectively work out to a worst case scenario of 100 million files would be something like an 80 gig database or something like that. I'll put the math out there on the website next week. And if you want to tweak the registry, we will copy up to 512 files at a time. 4 times what Robocopy would do. That was just why I did it, because I was like, screw Robocopy. You better have some serious cores and storage and network, my friend. You try and do that nonsense. We did try it. We were like, oh, stop the test. They don't pay us. They don't give us a whole lot of great gear to test on. Okay, last set of questions, and then I'll get to my, finish on what's coming next. Yes, sir. Yeah, do I want to migrate some shares to some server, some shares to another server? You can work your way through that. You can do the migration, do the transfer, just select the 2 shares and the target that you want those 2 shares to go to, then go back, kick your inventory one more time, and do it again, but pick a new target and some different shares, and you can do it again. Or you can just run a different job, picking different stuff each time. Either way. Yes. Yes. Long file paths are supported. Yay. You would not believe how hard that was, because .NET doesn't like to live in the future. .NET, a lot of our code is .NET. That's the real problem. Everything else in Windows is like 32,000 something, 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 whatever NTFS loves, and .NET's living over in max path like a jerk. But we made that possible in .NET some years ago, and then we went through the enlightenment process in our feature to make it actually work. Yes? If there are open or locked files, what happens during transfer? We note it, we retry it, we eventually get it or give up, we note that, we tell you, and then if you think the file that you got skipped because it tried several times after waiting several minutes, didn't get it, will let you run it again on the next Delta transfer. And if it's never, ever released, ever, then you have to go kick somebody's butt. Yes, sir. What about slow WAN links? What about them? They suck. Go buy some good ones, man. Well, we operate right now at the SMB layer. We operate as well as, depending on the dialect conversation you're having, with at least SMB2. So if you're talking back to 2008, for example, or 2008 R2, SMBs was vastly improved in that release, SMB2 protocol, to work better on crappier networks. If you're going back to 2003, it's going to be like a suck fest. Because SMB1, which you already are like in a suck fest because you got SMB1, is super chatty and gnarly bad on slow WAN links. It's just 25 years old. That's nothing can be done. You could. The question is, would I do a transfer where I do my migration to a local server and then I put that thing on a truck and send it out? Absolutely. If you want to take that kind of outage of transfer time, you can absolutely just sneaker net that thing over. Yes, sir. Can I adjust the permissions and ownership on the fly? We talked about doing that in the initial requirements, in the initial release, and then we got nervous that people would do it, so we didn't. We don't support that yet. But send me an email. I'll give you some feedback options here at the end, and you can explain why that might be helpful to you. Did I see a hand over here? No? Yes.
So in the final transfer cutover stage, you change the AD name to a GUID, but what about the network? I noticed in the demo, so if you move a static IP from the source server to the destination server, can you leave a static IP in place?
Yeah, so are you talking about the source machine? Yeah, so the question is, on the source machine, what can I set for IP information on it during the cutover? So what are my options? DHCP, so you can just have it just pick up a new lease and just start using some DHCP that no user would know about. Or you can set a new static on it, and as long as it's different than the old one, and we'll check, then you can just give it some new static address. And either way, only you would probably know how to get there. Yes? Yes. Yeah, so the question is, what kind of proof options do I have? So after the migrations, the transfer part's done, my customer will believe that I should be paid. And that audit trail we show, you can turn on checksumming, and then you can take that checksum list and actually go back and compare it to your originals, just using any checksum tool that you could run on the source machine, or PowerShell, or whatever. There's a billion tools that'll do CRC64. And just compare that list. Very simple. And because it's in a spreadsheet, it's in CSV, you can just line that crap up and be like, yep, it matches. Yes, sir. Rollback from cutover? Yeah. It's a good question. What are my cutover rollback options? In the early phases of cutover, we can actually stop the cutover and nothing will have happened, effectively giving you the option to just basically pause and stop the cutover. Like the very first couple steps don't work, you can roll back from that. The problem with the rollback of cutover is you probably want to do it when you can't talk to a bunch of servers that we can't now roll back. So I do a cutover, I send my old source machine off into some new names and new IPs, some firewalls in the middle that we didn't know about that had some rules on it, and my source just won't come back up. I can't find it anymore in the cutover. It's up and running, but no one knows because the network won't let me know. At that point, you would manually just go back and you'd stop the cutover and just kill it, and manually go back and set it back to whatever you need it to be, or better yet, just go fix the network communication problem in the middle. If you get all the way to the end, this is one of those what do I do if I get all the way to the end questions. Remember, we didn't get rid of anything, and you have a complete audit trail of what it used to be. You can look back and see what all the IP information was, all the settings were for networking, and you could go, in worst case scenario, KVM to that box or walk up to it and manually reapply it back, and then just rejoin it back to the domain with its old name and be back in business, all with basically one reboot in 5 minutes. That's why we don't get rid of anything. Yes, sir. If your source server is on DHCP, we are happy to do a transfer and give it a new DHCP lease as well. We don't care if you're using DHCP as a source or destination. Oh, I mean, that's tricky, right? Making sure that DHCP leases don't end up, being reassigned back to it and stuff. We're going to have to do a little dance there and figure it out. We actually have code to try and check and make sure that the names and IP addresses are starting to match up with the new server. It doesn't always work. So you may end up, for those rare customers that actually use DHCP for everything throughout, even their servers, we have some orchestration to deal with that. You may end up wedged in some corner where we make you just go get a new lease. But we handle waiting for it. I've actually had this problem. I would have problems in my lab where my DHCP wasn't working correctly because I'm an idiot and I can't set up something from the 90s. And I would actually get stuck, and I'd go yell at my dev, like, hey, this thing's broken. And he'd be like, no, you don't have DHCP turned on. You're a jerk. And I'd go turn on DHCP, and then we would just recover. We'd just start working. This thing, the cutover doesn't get to a spot where it just quits. The reason why we have a long duration on the cutover is it's going to keep retrying and trying to make this all work till either, it finishes or the point you said just give up is reached. Yes, sir. Last question. Oh, sorry. What was that? No, you don't need to finish cutover. You don't need to do transfer. Every phase is distinct, and you can go back to those phases and do them again and discard what you did going forward. Yeah, sure. Yeah, for example, you can move data over there, look at the shares, access it with its standby new name, not its proper new name yet, but whatever the new server's current identity is. Yeah, you can totally do that. Yes, sir.
If you have a 7x24 organization, it looked like the transfer settings sort of happened at the end for the NetBIOS name, or fully qualified name, the IP address. Can both the legacy server and the target server be online at the same time and people still working?
Only if they want to go to the new server with its, sort of temporary name. You probably wouldn't want that. Because what's going to be happening, the question is, can I have people accessing both copies of the data at once? You can, but if they make any changes and you run another transfer, they're going to get zapped because we consider the source authoritative. Now, if they're making changes to stuff that we aren't aware of or dealing with at all on the destination, then yeah, you can do what you want.
So it's wait until the end and then
you should wait. Okay, I'm almost out of time. So let's look at the future here a little bit. We will be adding, and in fact it's being worked on right probably now, it's almost 9 on the West Coast, full discovery option. So I can, instead of typing in some source names like I did, let me just go look in Active Directory and you just point me to an OU and I'll just find every device in there and you can pick from your list of things you think are interesting to inventory. Same thing for subnets. Go out and basically assess and find. I have a shocking number of customers, hang your heads in shame, who are like, I don't know what servers I have. And that's how you get WannaCry, dude. This will go out and find those machines for you and get you an understanding of like what's going on in your environment. And you can use the inventory basically as a way to kind of keep track of your environment in general. We will add that cluster support. So I stopped being embarrassed that the guy who works on the cluster team doesn't support the cluster. We will start supporting NFS protocol, block protocol, and a thing called NDMP. NFS you all probably know about. It's a fairly standard file server, remote file server protocol for Linux and Unix. Block is us supporting, doing block level data transfers, not file level data transfers. They're exceedingly fast. They don't care about in-use files. I already built the engine to do it. It's called Storage Replica. And all I have to do now is send that backport that as an agent back to some older OSs, and I'll be able to just do a one-way, ultra-high-speed data transfers. That's going to be great. And then NDMP is actually a backup protocol, a sort of industry standard protocol for backing up block devices like SANs and NASs and stuff. Because I'm going to start supporting things like SANs and NASs and stuff. I'm coming after your NetApps and your VNXs and all those things, not just Windows. That's coming. And Samba. That's probably the first thing we'll be doing on next. I'm coming after all those weird appliances and stuff you bought that now you're stuck with. I'm coming for it. Then we will do proper AFS integration. This one I have to do whether I like it or not because my boss's boss's boss also owns AFS, and he's like, you will do proper AFS integration. So I don't care if you like it or not, we're doing it. He signs my bonus check. AFS integration will be tied in so that you get through that transfer process and that cutover process. You'll actually just press a button and say, turn on AFS. Here's my subscription information. Here's my tenancy information. Here's my key. I got all these shares. Let me go map the shares and their cache rules and what I want to do, like all the AFS-centric stuff. It'll basically become phase 4. That'll all be there. And we're starting on that right now. And then also, Azure Files as a target will be possible. And that includes like that Azure Files is SMB, but if there's NFS coming or NFS available for that, we will do that as well. Okay? And we will support consolidation. Somebody asked this already. What are my consolidation options? What is consolidation? It's I want to have 5 servers become 1 server. Well, that's great. I can totally do that. I can make it look like that 1 server is actually 5 servers using things called DFS consolidated routes and alternate computer names. I can do all of that. It will use Kerberos. You won't be able to tell. There's a little technical challenge of like making sure we don't overlap data and overlap shares and actually collide any real files, but I can figure that out. The real problem is you say, I want to take 5 data center edition servers and make them into 1 standard edition server and pay you no money ever. And that's where it becomes a business thing, where business people have to tell me, like, what are the rules of what you can consolidate so that we don't end up just, like, forking over all this cache, letting you run 47 servers on 1 server. Because we are not the Sacred Hearts of Normandy charity. We are Microsoft. Finally, and I think really, really cool, is it's one thing to do data migration. It's another thing to really start understanding what your data is. So if I'm going to sit there and touch every file you've got and every folder and every piece of permissions and look at stuff, if I put an agent onto your source machine and maybe look at your data as it passes through and put an agent onto your destination machine, I can start telling you about who's using data, how accessed it is, how cold and hot it is. I have to do this to finish that AFS scenario, right? If I want to give AFS a bunch of data and not have it all just become hot instantly as I give it, I must actually know about usage and types of data and start being able to give you back interesting information about that. So that migration isn't just about, let's get this project over with. It's maybe more and more about this thing is running all the time, helping me understand what's growing, what's not growing, where do we need to buy more storage, what department is not paying enough money to manage their crazy setup. That's a long-term goal for me, probably in the next year and a half, but that goal is going to get met. And so in the end, it's going to look like this. That's the diagram I started with 2 years ago. That's my oldest diagram. You saw it got down to reality, and we're going to blow it back up into a crazy town like this over the course of the next 24 months. Okay? Now, this is the one you should be taking a picture of. Okay, get your cameras out. These slides are all downloadable. This presentation is recorded, no problem. You don't actually need to take a picture. But that's the link. That's our blog. The Feedback Hub tool has entries for Windows Server. If you got bugs or design changes, or you want volume shadow copies of files in there, you hit me up on that. You can also email smsfeed@microsoft.com. You can go to user voice and get your friends to vote up stuff. You can go on Twitter and just yell at me directly. And I will embarrassingly answer you in weird ways. But I absolutely will answer. So, what did we see? We saw this whole dashboard. We saw everything get migrated. We saw it be an easy push-button experience. We have a great new way for you to get off your old servers, get onto our new hotness, make it be as easy as possible. And I really thank you for coming out here. My name's Ned. I'll see you next year.